You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A New York man accused of killing a teen back in the 70s appeared in court today for his preliminary hearing on homicide charges. Luis Sierra allegedly killed 15-year-old Evelyn Colon back in 1976, and her dismembered remains were discovered stuffed in suitcases in Carbon County. The case remained cold for 44 years, as she was known to area residents as Beth Doe until advances in DNA technology revealed her true identity. The investigation also showed that the now 63-year-old Sierra of Ozone Park, New York, was responsible for Colon's death. The two were a couple at the time of the incident, and Colon was pregnant with Sierra's child. Sierra's hearing was held in Weatherly, whereas homicide charges were held over for trial in Carbon County Court. 9 Supreme Court justices heard the case of a Mahanoy area teen today who claims that her First Amendment rights were violated. Brandy Levy failed to make the Mahanoy area varsity cheerleading team back in 2017, so she took to social media to post a profanity-filled rant. When the district found out about it, they suspended her from cheering for a year. A lawsuit against the district was filed by her parents, and a judge ruled that she be put back on the team. Today, the Supreme Court debated about the balance of teen-free speech on social media and just how schools can maintain discipline. The school district's appealing and seeks to reverse the lower court's decision that what students say off campus is off limits for punishment by school officials. Levy's attorney urged the justices to make it clear that schools can't police students' social media on the basis of potential disruption. This is the first time the court addressed the issue of school-related speech done on social media off campus, and they're expected to hand down a decision by the end of June. A teenager sustained injuries after being stabbed during an incident at a Wilkes-Barre City Park Tuesday. Police were called to Ironman Park on Andover Street around 7 p.m. for a report of a stabbing victim. First responders found a juvenile male lying on the ground and bleeding from the neck area. He was transported to Wilkes-Barre General Hospital for treatment of his injuries. There's no word on the victim's condition or any suspects at this time as the investigation continues. A proposed Hazel Township warehouse project has cleared another hurdle with Luzerne County. Council members approved a requested tax abatement for Blue Cup Ventures LLC at last night's meeting. The Connecticut-based company plans to construct 3 warehouses on a 360-acre tract of land near Route 309 between Hazel Village and Beaverbrook. The project, estimated at $120 million, would create over 7,000 jobs. The land's currently assessed at $840,000, but will be worth nearly $40 million upon completion. Both the Hazleton Area School Board and Hazel Township supervisors have already approved tax abatements for the project. The former president of the Pennsylvania Bar Association has been charged with soliciting a prostitute. 58-year-old attorney David Eric Schwager of Kingston contacted county detectives back in December of 2019, claiming to be the victim of an extortion scheme allegedly perpetrated by 25-year-old Emily Ann Mirth. He admitted that he responded to an advertisement for a female escort and met Mirth at a home on Cary Avenue to engage in sex. Schwager told police that Mirth recorded the encounter with a mobile device and later demanded $1,000 to keep her from posting the video. Detectives eventually arrested Mirth and charged Schwager with patronizing a prostitute. He resigned as president of the Bar Association and is on administrative leave from his job as Luzerne County Assistant Solicitor. A Schuylkill County woman who also served as a part-time police officer is facing welfare fraud charges. 43-year-old Denna Krames of Orwigsburg was taken into custody Tuesday by an agent with the State Attorney General's office. Authorities say Krames failed to report her income while working as a police officer in Coaldale from last August through early 2021. She allegedly obtained over $1,900 in fraudulent SNAP benefits and just over $1.7K in medical assistance benefits. She was arraigned in Pottsville yesterday and released on $5,000 unsecured bail. Governor Tom Wolf signed legislation into law Tuesday that was sponsored by State Representative Tara Toohill. The Living Donor Protection Act prohibits a life or health insurance company from discriminating against an organ or tissue donor. The law also ensures that donors receive family and medical leave for both the surgery and recovery period. The new law, which takes effect in 60 days, will require the Department of Health to develop informational materials related to living donors. Toohill herself donated a kidney to her late mother back in 2003. The proposed date of enforcing Real ID compliant identification for air travelers will be delayed for another 19 months. The Department of Homeland Security announced Tuesday that the deadline, which was set for October 1st of 2021, will now be May 3rd of 2023. The Real ID Act, passed by Congress in 2005, was aimed at eliminating airline terrorism by increasing the requirements to obtain documents that grant access on domestic planes. Also under the Act, state agencies that issue licenses and ID, like the DMV, will require more paperwork and proof of residency. It's taken nearly 15 years to fully implement the Act so far, which makes this the second time the date's been moved due to the pandemic. More information on Real IDs can be found on DHS's website. A Plains Township man that is already facing animal cruelty charges is now being asked to pay for the care of a Dalmatian seized by humane officers. The SPCA of Luzerne County filed a civil petition in county court seeking over $3,000 from 23-year-old Aji Salazar for the feeding and shelter of Kobe. Kobe was one of 3 animals seized from Salazar's former residence at 75 Carey Street, where court records showed that humane officers found Kobe and another dog named Sadie with no food and a bowl half filled with dirty water. Salazar was charged with neglect of animals and cruelty to animals and similar summary counts involving Kobe. The petition noted that a state law known as the Cost of Care of Seized Animals Act of 2013 compels Salazar to pay for Kobe's care in Plains Township. Coming up on Wyln News, hoping to rock the river this summer, plus how the Iron Pigs plan to honor essential workers come opening week. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Lorelai, and I'm 7 years old, and tomorrow is going to rain.
Wyln TV 35 is looking for part-time seasonal live sports videographers and production crew. Evening and weekend work is required. Candidates should have experience in sports production and camera operation. Please contact Wyln TV 35 at 570-459-1869 extension 1172 or email news@wylntv.com.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Wyln programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazel. You want cars? We got them. We have the largest selection of pre-owned cars in the area. We have over 160 cars on the ground. Plus, if you're looking to trade your car, if you want to get rid of the payments, it will never be worth more than it is now. Whether it is a Ram, a Chevy, a Mazda, a Dodge, a Chrysler. Guys, we will give you top dollar. Your car will never be worth more than it is right now. So don't waste your time. Get down to Blaze Alexander Greater Hazelton and see where we take those deals. The other guys won't.
Attention high school grads and returning students seeking higher education. The PA State grant application deadline is just days away. The PHEAA is reminding students and families that the deadline to submit the 2021-22 PA State grant application is this Saturday, May 1st. This applies to all renewal applicants and first-timers who plan to enroll in a college, university, or college transfer program at two-year public or private colleges. To apply, you must first complete the 2021-22 free application for federal student aid, which can be found online at pheaa.org/FAFSA or at studentaid.gov. You can visit PHEAA on social media to learn more about the process. After a year-long hiatus, the city of Wilkes-Barre plans to be once again rocking the river. The popular event made its debut back in 2019 and featured weekly live bands and vendors at the Wilkes-Barre River Commons. Officials are planning to hold the event this year, but need to put plans in place before making an official announcement, including an open container waiver from the city. According to this week's City Council agenda, the concerts are slated for July 16th, 23rd, and 30th from 5 to 10 p.m. We'll be sure to keep you in the loop as more information becomes available. Bipartisan legislation was introduced to modify social distancing rules for minor league ballparks in order to seat more fans and recover from last year's financial losses. Governor Tom Wolf's capacity for outdoor events was increased to 50% earlier this month. The bill, being deemed common sense legislation for the tourism industry, would change social distancing requirements in minor league stadiums to 3 feet rather than 6 feet. The change focuses on helping out smaller stadiums that cannot seat many people with 6-foot social distancing requirements compared to major league ones, and allowing them to better operate their businesses successfully. WYLN's all-time OT hero Marty Burns has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off season across our viewing area. Media Relations Manager for the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, Mike Ventola, is on this week. So let's talk sports. Here's part 3.
Starting opening night, a gold cap giveaway presented by Service Electric Cable TV and Communications, but also essential workers will be honored as part of the opening night celebration, and then 2 nights later, Nurses Appreciation. And it's a way to give back to these essential workers that have been at the forefront of this pandemic since day one.
Yeah, we figured that we could not open up this season without thanking the frontline workers, and they will be the focus on opening night. So, and obviously fans as well too. We're thrilled to roll out the red carpet for every single person that's coming through these gates. But I think even the fans can agree if that, they're looking up at the video board or on the concourse where frontline workers are going to be recognized. I'm sure each fan will be on their feet giving them a standing O, because they've gone through hell through the past year and a half. And, we felt like it was, something that was so important to us to make sure that we recognize them on opening night. And then, as you mentioned, 2 nights later with the nurses as well too. So entire homestand, we're going to try to do our part in really recognizing these frontline workers, because they've, like I said, they've had to go through so much.
Coming up on Mayflower's News Choice, details on an upcoming virtual melanoma event on this Wellness Wednesday in Community and You. Plus, leading the way into part 3 with Chris Fulmer. Stay with us.
This Good News Wednesday, we're talking about the CDC's new unveiled guidance regarding mask wearing outdoors. Fully vaccinated Americans can start spending their time outdoors without a mask, unless in crowds or indoor public places, meaning outdoor activities and small gatherings are now fine without a mask. But gatherings that draw crowds like outdoor concerts or indoor public places still require one. And speaking of gatherings, Knoebels Amusement Park had its opening day this past weekend, so you can check out their website to see their schedule and upcoming events. And even more good news, as the city of Wilkes-Barre plans on once again holding the Rock in the River event this summer. Officials are planning on holding the event this year, but still need to put the plans in place before making an official announcement. That's your Good News Wednesday. Thank you for joining us here on WYLN.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're going to talk to Jill Lallery and Dr. Alex about how chiropractic could not help her. She needed surgery, but she came back, and now we can still help her, so stay tuned.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and we've got another Wellness Wednesday coming your way, thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. We'll be chatting with Dr. Michael Evans today, who's with LVPG Hematology and Medical Oncology. How are you, Dr. Evans?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Today's all about LVHN's upcoming virtual event focusing on the advances in melanoma cancer care, which is going live this Monday, May 3rd at 5:30 p.m. Now, Dr. Evans, for those watching this, why is it in their best interest to attend this virtual event?
Well, I think the virtual event will be full of information. And when it comes to melanoma, there's really just a couple things to keep in mind. It's a cancer that is actually being diagnosed more often than previously. It's the rate of new diagnoses of melanoma is actually higher than any other type of cancer. So that's important because there's a lot more out there. The other thing about melanoma is that it is really an area of medical oncology where there are new treatment strategies and evolving research all the time. And so there's really a lot to keep up on. And so this event will go into a lot of the ongoing research and really stress the advances that are happening in the treatment of melanoma.
And speaking of cancer care, LVHN has cancer care right here in our backyard. So what can you and your team provide for someone who discovers that they have melanoma, whether it's after visiting their dermatologist or their primary care provider?
we are here locally with a medical oncology office. And so we can offer all of the standard treatments. What we can do as a network is go a bit beyond that. I mean, when you think of cancer treatment and melanoma treatment in particular, it's really a team approach. And Lehigh Valley Cancer Institute is one of the largest cancer institutes in the state. And by having a larger institute, we have more physicians and surgeons and radiation oncologists who, rather than focusing on all areas of cancer, can focus in on just melanoma. And so we have a team like that at Lehigh Valley. We also have Dr. Nair, who will be on the program on Monday, who has been very involved in clinical trial research in melanoma with immunotherapy and other strategies. And so we have a team with significant experience and expertise in Allentown. So if somebody's newly diagnosed by their dermatologist and they're not sure where to begin, they can certainly see us in our office, and we can link them up with the melanoma program in Allentown to explore surgical options, make sure they're getting the most appropriate surgery, as well as any clinical trial options. Then after that, it's back to Hazleton, where we can deliver the immunotherapy and other standard treatments.
And it's also come to my attention that the Lehigh Valley Cancer Institute is one of just 3 in the country participating in the MSK Cancer Alliance, which is impressive, obviously. So can we dive into the advantages of being aligned with Memorial Sloan Kettering?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, Lehigh Valley Cancer Institute in and of itself has a lot of experience and is a large cancer institute. Memorial Sloan Kettering is one of the largest cancer centers in the world. So they have people who really focus in on all these different disease types, a lot of research going on. So they have multiple melanoma and skin cancer researchers and experts. And what they have done through this alliance is take their specific disease management teams with very specific processes. For Lehigh Valley to be part of the alliance, we had to follow all of those very rigorous procedures when caring for patients with melanoma or other cancers. And so it's really taken what was a pretty robust program and made it, brought it up to another level and extended even a larger array of clinical trials and research expertise to Lehigh Valley Cancer Institute and to all the patients that we care for.
Now, what is the big takeaway that you would like our viewers and our audience right now to understand about the importance of the Advances in Melanoma Cancer Care event that's coming up?
So I would just say that, melanoma is a serious disease. It can be a fatal diagnosis. And so, logging into that program, if there's a history of melanoma in an individual or in their family, if they have loved ones who have melanoma, they'll learn a lot about the treatment, ongoing research, and a lot of reason for hope for, very good outcomes, even with advanced melanoma. And so my take home would be not to miss an opportunity to have a good outcome, and that's what this program is going to help to educate people on all the work being done to make sure the outcomes are as good as they can be.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Evans, for squeezing us in today.
No problem. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And thank you, everybody out there. Remember, LVHN's upcoming virtual event focusing on the Advances in Melanoma Cancer Care is going live this Monday, May 3rd at 5:30 p.m. So be sure to visit the website below to register for free or for any questions you may have about the event sponsored by NJM Insurance Group. But that's it for this Wellness Wednesday in Community and You. We'll catch you next time right here on WYLN.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
What's on TV? Plenty. WYLN TV 35, the best in local programming.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Jura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, our own Chris Fulmer is leading the way into Autism Acceptance Month for Part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Chris Fulmer. So we mentioned earlier, you're an accomplished author. You brought the book in today. Can we talk a little bit about the book?
Yes. After my sister's wedding in September 2014, I started thinking back on my life and wondering how far I'd come or so I decided to put it into words. It took 2.5 years of writing, rewriting, and all that, but I now have the finished result. Welcome back to Saturday Morning, an autobiography of life and autism, which is available for viewers on Amazon if they wish to buy it. I go over my life story, show as truthfully as I can, show the ups and downs, and pay tribute to my family members who I've found through genealogy I've come closer to, and between each chapter I throw in various commercial breaks, as they will, to go with the Saturday morning theme, listing my top various things, my favorite Saturday morning shows, my favorite holiday specials, my favorite John Candy movie since he's my favorite actor, the favorite places I've traveled to, those sort of things. I've sold, at last check, a little over 100 copies.
And can you give us a little preview of the book? Is that okay?
I guess I could read some part of it as thing. Okay, a little biased here, but if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan to the bone as I am, there's one thing you can absolutely agree on with other fans. The Dallas Cowboys are the ultimate villains. For some fans, there's a singular moment in time that leads to this mindset. For others, it's ingrained through family. I fall into the former camp for a clear-cut reason. Dateline, June 25th, 1992, the day Jerome Brown died. It was a sledgehammer blow struck to my chest to get that terrible news confirmed.
Perfect. All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Chris continues leading the way into Part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.